Hey y'all, welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane and today is August 11th, 2018. This is episode 150, which seems amazing and exciting and unbelievable all at the same time. So if you have been watching for all of these 150 episodes, congratulations. If you are a new viewer, I am so thankful that you are trying me out this week. I first of all want to say thank you so much for the lovely feedback on the last episode that I published. The last episode was actually a special episode with my wonderful husband, who sat in and did the Fiber Friends tag with me. And we actually taped it, gosh, almost a month ago now. And I had intended to get it up online while we were on vacation, but that didn't happen. So here we are, just getting it out there. But I'm so glad that you enjoyed it, and I really thought that was a lot of fun. So thank you so much for all of your kind words. And he has read many of the comments and is very happy that that you all enjoyed it. So I have been quite busy for the last month or so since we've had a regular episode. I want to say first off that the announcements for giveaways and prize winners and knit-alongs and all of that is going to be at the very end of the show. So if you are looking for that, then stay tuned to the very end. Since last we spoke, I have been in Nashville for a very quick one afternoon little stop just to say hello to some friends and shop at the SSK market, which was so fun. It's my first time being there for that. Got to hug some necks and some people that I either haven't ever met in real life or never get to see. So that was a heck of a lot of fun. And then we had a huge, big family vacation after that. So at the end also, probably after the giveaway winners, I will talk about our vacation and all of the lovely things about that trip. So let's get in right away with the knitting. I have one finished object this week. I have one pair of socks that is the longest time in coming. This is a pair of Weasley family socks knit out of Yarn Ink yarn in the Neverland colorway. And it's this beautiful kind of creamy vanilla and natural background, almost micro stripes, with these fun pops of pink and blue speckles. They're so fun. I honestly wish this pattern had not taken me so long to finish because, as you all know, I am notoriously not a patterned sock knitter. I mean, very notoriously. Sock knitting tends to be my travel and purse knitting, and it's got to be very, very simple. I found by the second sock that I was able to knit just this little pattern on the go, and that one little purl stitch every now and then really kept me moving. So I could be a convert to a simple, very, very simple patterned sock like this. So yeah, so that was a whole lot of fun. It's the Weasley Family Socks by Molly of A Homespun House and Yarn Ink yarn in the Neverland colorway. And I know I knit them on a size 2.25 millimeter because that's how I knit all of my socks. These were toe up with a Turkish cast on, 16 stitches on each needle, increase up to 32 stitches on each needle, and then I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel on these as well. So I'm very excited to add these to my sock drawer. I have quite a few loud striped socks in my sock drawer, and so I actually really need some more lightly colored and patterned ones, just for those days that you feel like you don't need to make quite as much of a statement. So that is my only finished object. But boy, do I have knitting. I have so much knitting. I have so many works in progress. This first thing I am so excited to show you because it is going to get finished by the next podcast. Mark my words. I just steamed it out to make it look a little prettier, and I'm so glad I did because it just looks even that much more exciting and close to reality. Well, my Sunset Highway, look how pretty. So Sunset Highway has, the body is totally finished. I think last time we talked about how I was very concerned about that third ball of yarn, introducing that in. And I feel like, yes, can I tell that towards the end there it gets a little bluer? Yes, I can tell. Will I ever mention it outside of y'all? No. So what I did after the suggestions of many of you, I looked up helix knitting on online, and I believe that it was designed and introduced to make not like jogless one stripe stripes, like in a circular knitting. And boy, is it brilliant for alternating skeins on a sweater. Now, what I will say is it made what is potentially a very easy in the round portable project much less portable. I ended up knitting that last section where I was helix knitting only at my house, like in bed or, you know, at a table. So it kind of did turn it into a little less portable. But I'm okay with that. There's a lot of times during the day when I'm dyeing yarn and that I have like one project during the day that is sort of I have 20 minutes where I can sit and focus, or I have 30 minutes of you know, kind of my lunch break that I give myself. So that time is usually when I tend to use my brain for my knitting. That works out well for me. And so that was this project. It was the one that was always on the kitchen counter, and I just picked it up and finished it. I brought it on my vacation. I finished the body on my vacation. So that is that. I think the line is barely visible there, and it just looks very nice. So very happy with that. And I finished one sleeve. I started this sleeve on the vacation and then quickly determined that the needles that I had brought with me were not acceptable. They were going to leave big holes and all sorts of drama. So I ordered some needles, had them sent to my sister's house while we were out of town, got those needles, had every intention of casting it on to be able to work on while we were in Washington and on the way home. That didn't happen, which was fine. And I cast it on. I think I put the sleeve on, gosh, I want to say Sunday. We got back late Saturday night. I think Sunday I picked up for the sleeve, and it was done by like Wednesday or Thursday. So I knit it exactly as written, and it's amazing. Just even steam blocked out. It looks so good. So all I have left is one sleeve. I can't get back far enough, but there you go. My colors for this are, oh, and this is Sunset Highway by Boyland Knitworks, Caitlin Hunter, which I'm sure you all have seen it a billion times by now. But the yarn that I have used is my own Suburban Stitcher hand-dyed yarn in the single sock base, which is a single ply fingering weight yarn. The color at the top is Coal. The pink is Tainted Love. This greenish speckled here is Spanish Moss. And then the body of the yarn is a grayish purple that is, it reads very gray on the camera, but it really is a purple gray for sure. It's called 2 a.m. Kisses. And oh, I also want to say I alternated skeins in the sleeve, only with 2 skeins, not the 3. And I think it looks just fine. I don't think that there's really too much of a difference between, like, I mean, again, I can see it right there, but I think once you're wearing it, you won't be able to tell where the, you know, the mark or whatever is for the picking, where you separated for the sleeves and then where I picked it up and was alternating. I think it's just fine. I just could not be more excited about this. I'm so excited. And the only reason that I haven't picked up that other sleeve and continued working on it is because I have a couple of other things that have stolen temporarily my mojo. But I think this afternoon, this sleeve is going to get picked up and my mojo is going to be back for this bad boy because I want to have it finished this week. And that will be the first sweater that I have finished in, well, since the last time I went to Rhinebeck, so 4 years. So this will be a Rhinebeck sweater for sure. Very exciting. And I probably will only have one, and that's just fine. So that is a work in progress. What else did I work on while I was gone? I have that sock that I finished. Okay, so the other knitting that I actually spent quite a bit of time on, and it makes me, I almost can't even look at this right now. It's making me so sad. As I think last time I had showed you my Isolde Glowmintide mystery knit along. There is something going on with mine. I have made a counting error or a reading the pattern error somewhere. The whole thing is out now, and so there's no spoilers or whatever. But so I had finished, I think this is clues 1 and 2 on this kind of leg right here, and then clues 3 and 4 is this longer leg right here. And then you joined them together and we were basically working a square decreasing here in the middle. All of the sides of the square are supposed to be equal, and I have off stitch counts and off numbers on 2 of the 4 sides, and I don't know what happened, and I think I'm gonna have to completely rip out all of my progress so far on clue 5, which is I don't know, 20 rows, something like that. Super frustrating. And those rows are like 400 stitches each. So I think I'm at the point where I can't fudge it. I can't pretend that the errors aren't there. I can't make it work because I'm off by too much. So this has been in timeout since I figured that out one evening this week. This was my easy, quote unquote, evening, sitting in bed watching TV knitting, and now it is just in timeout knitting until I have the gumption to rip it out because it's so much knitting. Ugh. But it's in a beautiful bag by Bed of Roses that I got in a swap this year, and I absolutely love it. And you should totally check out her shop. And I'm also wearing some of her knitting jewelry today. I've been wearing this quite a lot. I absolutely love it. So that got worked on, but it's in timeout. I cast on a test knit that I cannot show, but instead I will show you this beautiful bag that it's in. This is one of my SSK Marketplace purchases from the Fat Squirrel. And the yarn that I'm using is my Salted Caramel colorway, which I can show you, at least the ball of yarn right there. Ooh, I should have done a white balance before this because it's not right, but it is. I picked this bag, one, because I needed a sweater sized, and two, it's that exact color of that leaf. So that is that. And that is all I will show you until I can show you. So that is why this project, getting this started, is why I have not finished the one sleeve on my sweater, but I'm so excited to have it done. And then the last thing that I've been working on, I pulled another project out of some hibernation, and I'm really excited about this. So I think I mentioned before that I am designing a shawl. I'm designing a shawl out of my DK weight yarn, which is a 250 yard super fine merino, 250 yards for 115 grams. It's very plump and super soft and squishy. And so the three colors that I am designing it out of are a brand new one that's called Oyster. Well, relatively new. This is a white with green and purple speckles. I wouldn't say white. It's sort of a creamy tan, I guess. Oystery, creamy tan-ish gray. I don't know the best way to describe that color. The second color is Predictability. As you can see, I've done some ripping out. And the last color that will be going in is my new gray that, again, I absolutely love. And this is called Ashes. And this is the gray that was in the Mrs. Brown's Bag collaboration. If you got that kit that I did with her last month with the fun bee-splat bag and the 2 skeins of yarn, this was the gray that was in there. And there is some in my shop, I believe. I think I'm out of the remix sets, but I need to dye up some more if there's interest. So if you are interested in those as a set, let me know, and I will be glad to either do a custom order or put up a listing for you. Probably just need to dye up some more. So anyway, I wasn't going to show this, and I showed it on Instagram last night because I thought, you know, I want to, because I'm working on it and it's what's in my brain. So I wanted a big, cozy, DK weight triangular shawl. I knew that I wanted a triangular shape. I love a brioche, and I love the idea of a fade happening within the brioche. And sort of that brioche is what's introducing the new colors. So it's going to be color blocked basically with brioche as the transition. So I've got this top garter stitch triangle. This is the oyster color. Maybe you can see it a little bit better right there. And then so the brioche happens here, and the predictability is the background color because it's being introduced there. And then I originally I was just going to do a big garter stitch section, and then I was looking at it and I thought, that is the most boring thing I've ever seen. It doesn't make me want to keep knitting this shawl. I'm bored, and I'm the one designing it. So I just knew it wasn't right. I ripped it out. I spent some time thinking about where I wanted it to go, doing some math, and I am going to attempt putting in a big lace section. When I think about shawls and the shawls that really are a lot of fun for me, it's because they have a lot of different elements, whether it be color changing or fading or interesting like blocks of pattern. So that's what I'm doing here. I am really in awe of pattern designers in general because this is hard. I mean, it's like I woke up this morning with a fresh cup of coffee and was charting lace before 7 a.m. and super hard. But anyway, so can only just show that little bit. That's all I have so far. But I like how the colors are playing together. I'm really happy now with the way that the brioche is sort of flowing into a stockinette based fabric instead of a garter stitch fabric. I'm just generally much happier with it. So that is that, and I will keep you posted online and on the podcast. So, hello lovelies. There are so many good things to talk about, right? But I do want to talk about a couple of things that are exciting that I got, and I've gotten so many goodies over the last month or two, and I'm going to focus on some of the things that I purchased or was given at the SSK marketplace. I already showed you one, this bag by the Fat Squirrel. This is her sweater sized bag, which is really awesome. I love this denim that she uses for the fabric. It's really nice. So I got that one, and I actually got 2 more bags from her. So let me show you those. I pre-ordered the special bag, the fabric for the actual retreat, and it comes with this personalized tag. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And then this is a sweater sized bag as well, because I'm knitting all the sweaters these days. And I got this, that is a shawl sized bag. I just loved this kind of mustardy beeskeep, the dragonflies, and just, I loved the fabric so much. So every bag that I've ever purchased from her has either had to do with bees or flowers. That's it. And most of them have yellow in them. So I don't know why that's a trend with me, but it is. So I got those bags. I visited the lovely Martha at Tuft Woolens, and I actually went back twice. Well, I went again, so I made 2 separate purchases. Anyway, I fell in love with this scent, and it is called Red Currant and Mandarin. And this is her bath bar, so this is like for your body or your hands or whatever. That's the scent, Red Currant and Mandarin. And I really just love this scent. It's very clean and like a citrus, but sort of a sweet citrus. It's really yummy. And then these 2 are kind of, I don't want to say musky, but they're not sweet scents. They're just more like herbally, musky, natural scented, I guess is the best way to describe it. But this one is vetiver and cedarwood, which vetiver is one of my favorite. I love it. I have a roller ball that I use with essential oils that I use at night. Sometimes if it's a night that I'm having trouble going to sleep, vetiver just has that like calming, sort of like anti-ADD. It feels like it's a good brain calming thing. So that would be lovely for knits, right? It's very soothing, very calming. So this one is vetiver and cedarwood. This is a wool soap, and this is also a wool soap in black tea and bergamot. And bergamot is like my second favorite. And it's nice. It's not a super sweet one either. So yeah, I'm really excited about both of these. And I also got a lotion in the Red Currant and Mandarin scent. And I may have ordered some more of it online because I love it that much. And I didn't want to say it and then y'all all go buy it up. So I had to get some. I purchased my first ever junk yarn. I went into that booth to go get some yarn for a friend, and I went in and fell in love with the skein for myself. So obviously this is like this bright magenta, plummy, pinky, orchid, bright, purpley pinks is so my jam right now. I love it. So this is junk yarn, and the colorway is called Hermione. This is on her 75-25 sock. So I got that for some socks. I purchased this. This is from Teeny Button Studio. These are the exact same colorway. This is the mohair lace base, and this is the soft sock base, 75-25 merino nylon, and the colorway is called Audubon. And it's a beautiful kind of sagey, greeny blue. Really like it. It is going to be a beautiful shawl. I think that I'm going to make, actually I know because I came home. I did not purchase this. This was purchased last year. It's from Stash, but I'm pairing it with this label. This label has been wanting to be lost for a long time now. This is Homespun House in her soft sock base, and it is If You're a Bird, I'm a Bird, also 75-25 merino nylon. And I think that these pair so nicely together. This is going to be a slice of light shawl, and it might be for a gift. I have a person in mind that I think would absolutely love this. The reason that it makes me so happy is that the color is called Audubon. Audubon is a very like South Louisiana painter, or maybe he's not just South Louisiana, but it is very like, it's something from home for me. He painted all of these birds, and very famous bird painter. And this is called If You're a Bird, I'm a Bird. So I feel like they were meant to be. That is great because that's a project. I bought this at a booth, Rock and String Creations. It's some self-striping yarn, and it's called Southern Charm. So that's super fun. And what else did I get at SSK? Oh, right here. So I didn't get this at SSK, but I bought these things at House of Yarn in Nashville. Old Rusted Chair is a local Nashville dyer. And so I bought this color on her single sock. It's called Road Trippin'. And if I'm being honest, it was neutral and the name got it for me. So totally love this skein. And I also bought 2 skeins of Spin Cycle. I had this skein and I knew it was like a dark purple with some plums that I purchased last year. And I bought these, and I think this will make a super shift cowl. So that is going to be a super fun project when I get back into shawl mode and not sweater mode. So I think that's it from what I'm going to share with you today. There are so many other things, but I'm going to space it out a little bit and share other purchases just in future episodes or just as I knit with them. I do want to show you a couple of things that I've either just barely cast on. It's not even hardly considering it a project yet, and one that I am about to cast on. We are all in love with Caitlin Hunter, aren't we? I mean, she just seems to have hit the thing that all of us want to knit right now as far as sweaters. And I have definitely learned, I really enjoy knitting a colorwork sweater. Who knew? Who knew that would happen? But I really do. I think that's why that sleeve knit so fastly for me. It keeps my interest because I want to just get to the next thing to get it. I don't know. It's something about it. Anyway, but I I did technically start, but I've done like 2 rounds or 3 rounds. But I did start the neckband, very tightly put on here, neckband of Alyeska. And that is, none of this shows any proprietary information. Oh, here we go. I'll show this. This is the black and white picture and the size chart, but this is by Caitlin Hunter. It's an all over colorwork sweater that has the gradient kind of light to dark. I am using a set that I bought from Spun Right Round -1 skein. So this is what I started with, my light, and this is called, I don't know what it's called. The label is not here. So then it will go, oh, I do have it right here. It's called Dingo. So we have Dingo. And this is Saloon. Drifter. And Tanked. So I think that that will make a gorgeous fade, and this little top accent color is going to be this little hot pink goodness, just because I think every sweater needs some pink in it right now. So that is something that is cast on, and we'll get to the point where I'm working on it, you know, once I get a few other things off my plate. And then another sweater that I've dyed the yarn for and I am itching to cast on is Guthrie, and this is Guthrie. And I will be knitting this out of Suburban Stitcher Merino DK. The main color, where she has the green, will be this is my new color, Velvet Magenta. And the accent colorwork portions will all be out of Rorschach. So it's going to be super bold and graphic, and I'm so excited. As you can see, I love this color right now. So another thing that I just feel like I really want to talk about is some business goings on and events and thank yous. First of all, we sold out of all of the Advent kits, and I am just so excited that so many of you wanted to get in on that. I am going to be busy making all of the Advent kits, you know, over the next few months and getting them out to you guys. But it's just such an exciting project. I'm so honored that so many people spent really good money on those. So thank you so much. I have been working on some new colors and some new kits and things, and so like that this Velvet Magenta colorway is new. It's kind of my perfect purpley pink that I've been dreaming of for a long time, and I finally made it. So that's really exciting. I also have a new colorway called Dirty Martini that's like a perfect olive green. I really like that. And then I just dyed up some other fun things that might be one-of-a-kinds. They might be new colors, who knows, but they're a lot of fun. So keep your eyes peeled for things that are happening this fall as far as new colors. As far as events, I have been talking a lot over the last few months about all the fall events that I have coming up, and I want to share with you what those are. I will be having a trunk show in just, gosh, it's less than a month now. It will be on September 8th, which is a Saturday, and that is, gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So 4 weeks from now, I will be having a trunk show at the Modern Skein in Montgomery, Texas. I've talked about this shop a couple of times before. It's a beautiful yarn store, new this year to having a brick and mortar. The owner is lovely. She has her own podcast called The Modern Skein. She has a beautiful Instagram feed and beautiful projects, and it's just such a lovely, lovely place to be. And I am having a trunk show there. One thing that's exciting is she specializes in all hand-dyed yarns. So every yarn that is in her store is a hand-dyed yarn, whether it is from a larger company or small home indie dyers like me. And I'm just so excited that she does events to support us. So that's going to be a lot of fun. September 8th, I'll be there pretty much all day. So whatever her open hours are for that day, I will be there. I would love for all of my Houston area people to make a little bit of a trek up to see me. Montgomery is sort of in between Navasota and Conroe, just north of, maybe 20 minutes north of the Woodlands. So if you are up for a little road trip, up for some really, really great antiquing and lovely coffee shops and shopping and fun little boutiques, as well as an amazing yarn trunk show, then come on up to Montgomery. I hope to see so many of you there. I am not participating in the Hill Country Yarn Crawl this year, so this will be your in-person chance to get my yarn if you are looking to do so this fall. I do not at this time have any other in-person events scheduled for this fall. And I don't know that there will be any. So that is September 8th. Then just a few weeks later, I'm so excited to finally get to say this, but I am officially going to be going to Knit City in Vancouver, BC. I am meeting up with some friends and we are hanging out, and just people that I never get to see. And so it's so exciting. It's a show that I've never been to before. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited to see some West Coast and Canadian makers. And of course, spending time with my friends that I am meeting up with there. So that's really fun. And then a couple of weeks after that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, is Rhinebeck, and I'm going to Rhinebeck. So I have all of these events that I need, that I've been wanting to get these sweaters and some various projects finished up for. So that is upcoming. If you have questions about anything, if you are wanting custom orders, I am absolutely doing custom orders for colors that already exist. So I do not take dream skein requests, I guess is the best way to say that. But if it is a color that is in my regular lineup of yarn colorways and you would like me to dye you up a skein and or in a custom quantity for sweaters or in a base that you don't see in the shop, go ahead and let me know and I'm happy to help. I can't think about any other shop news right now. So I do want to just at this very end, I will be putting in my clip of prize winners here. So I have 2 prize winners to announce for this week. The first is for the hashtag Get Suburban Cow, and that is an ongoing year-long knit-along that any project, no matter how large or how small, as long as 50% ish of the yarn used in the project is Suburban Stitcher yarn, then you can enter for prizes. You can enter as many times as you like. Every time you finish something, you just enter a new picture into the finished object thread, and then I pull a winner from that thread. And I did random.org for a random number, and I didn't write down the actual post number, but the winner is M. Gladue, MGLADUE. And she knit a violet waffles hat in the royal colorway, which is on a DK weight base from the shop. And this week I am excited to have a pattern sponsor, Blackbird Yarn Company, and she has donated one copy of her brand new pattern, the Wood Socks pattern. And it is a really fun buffalo check kind of color work sock pattern that uses 4 different colors within the body of the sock. And then it also has contrast heels, toes, and cuffs. And I'll put a picture in here somewhere. But it's so cute, so fun for fall and winter. And I just think it's just such a fun project and would be super cozy. So thank you so much, Blackbird Yarn Company, for donating that prize. And MGLADUE, if you will contact me and let me know that you've seen this, I will get the pattern prize out to you. The other knit along that actually ended at the end of July was the Prairie Girl Designs Cal, and I was really excited to just be able to highlight some of my friend Susie's patterns. There were several of you that participated in this, so thank you so much. And the winner for this one, because it was kind of an ongoing for months and months, I went ahead and just said anybody who participated by chatting or knitting, whether you finished or not, like all posts were eligible in that thread. And I actually did random.org again. Post number 10 was the one that came up, and that is another horned frog, and that's my friend Christina. So I'm so excited, Christina, that you have won a prize. Christina actually just celebrated a birthday, so happy birthday. And you are going to be getting, oh, let me tell you. So post number 10 was the one that won. She had finished one of her swirly socks by Prairie Girl Susie. She actually finished those socks, and that's in post number 17. And you can see that she knit them out of Felici, Knit Picks Felici in the Firefighter colorway, I believe, which is also a colorway I've knit out of. So it's nice and fun. And she knit the Swirl E Socks pattern by Prairie Girl Designs. And Christina, I'm going to go ahead and get this out to you. You have won a skein of Peach Queen yarns. This is from the prize vault over here at Suburban Stitcher. Peach Queen yarns in the, what is this? No One Knits Like Gaston colorway. So I think that's super fun. Kind of good summer into fall colors. And I know you're a sock knitter, so stripy socks. So that's really fun. I also want to mention that the winner from last week has not contacted me, and that was the winner for the Suburban Wrap Cal. And that winner is getting this skein of yarn from Queen City Yarns in the Dirty Ballerina colorway. It's on their MCN base, so it's really nice and luxurious. And there's a little stitch marker there, so definitely go back and watch episode number 149 if you participated in the Suburban Wrap knit along, because you might have won and you need to let me know that you know so that I can mail this to you. If I don't hear from that person, it's been a while now, but if I don't, I'll give them another week or so. If I don't hear from them, then this prize will go back into the vault and we'll pull it again for another thing. So that is it for knit along prizes right now, but the Suburban, Get Suburban knit along is ongoing, as I said, so you can keep participating in that one. And so if you've stuck around with me for this long, the next little bit is just me talking about our trip. So many of you were following along and wishing us well wishes, and so I just want to give you an update on how our trip went and what we did. We were gone for a little over 2 weeks. We boarded our dog. We left here on a Friday early in the morning, and we drove to Memphis, Tennessee. Our goal, the whole timing of our trip was we were going to visit my sister in Virginia, and then after that we were going to Washington, D.C. with just the 4 of us. And I timed it so that I could attend the SSK market. I didn't announce that ahead of time because I wasn't sure if it was going to work, or if, timing or family or all of the things would work out. So it was really exciting to get to surprise some friends and just walk in and get to see them. So we spent the Friday night in Memphis, ate some great barbecue, drove the next day to Nashville and spent the day there. We went shopping, went to Craft South, went to House of Yarn, went to the SSK Market, had a beautiful burger lunch at this yummy restaurant down the street from Craft South. And then I think my family did a science museum and some other things while I was at SSK. And then, excuse me. And then that night we went to dinner, and honestly, I cannot remember what we ate. I have no idea. No clue. But we stayed in Nashville, and we then left the next day to drive to Virginia to go visit my sister, who lives in Yorktown, Virginia, which is about an hour north of Virginia Beach. And we did lots of museums. It was kind of the beginning of our 2 weeks of museum and U.S. history. We visited Yorktown and Jamestown and Williamsburg, and halfway through that trip, my cousin and her husband drove up and met us. And so it was the 3 kind of adult cousins on that side of the family, and we and our spouses and kids, and we all just hung out all in the same house and did slumber parties and ate cookout and grilled burgers and played cards. And it was the most wonderful time with family. Then we went to DC and spent about 5 or 6 days in DC, went to a Nationals game, saw every monument, statue, museum, memorial that you possibly could squeeze in, that we could go see. We had a private tour of the Capitol, which was amazing. What else did we do? We just so many things. Yeah, it was such a lovely time. And then on the way back, we went a little bit different route the way home, drove through, stayed the night outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I got to visit with my friend, Cherie Kirby Werby. And then we drove home the next day, 16 hours. We were just done. We were ready to be home. We, instead of taking 3 days to drive home, we did it in 2, and it was really good because we were ready to be home. So yeah, so that was our trip. It was so great. Like I said, I visited House of Yarn in Nashville. I visited the Flying Needles in Williamsburg, Virginia, which was a cute store. I got some local yarn there, or local-ish, Virginia dyed yarn. And I also visited Looped in Washington, D.C. I tried very, very, very hard to visit Fiberspace in Alexandria, but unfortunately, most of the 2 weeks that we were gone were very, very rainy. And the afternoon that I picked to go, I picked a Thursday afternoon, late afternoon, and I, for some reason, decided to drive instead of take the metro, which is a monumental error on my part, and it ended up turning around. I got lost in Anacostia and another neighborhood outside of Anacostia, which was not so safe, and yeah, it was kind of frightening. But anyway, we had a great time, and yeah, it was super great to just get away and relax and totally not think about work or anything except for family and fun and doing all the things that we wanted. So, and now that we're home, I have commenced my post-vacation Whole30. So I'm on day 7 of that. And yeah, you know, all the things, kind of detoxing to get myself back into fighting shape. I cannot think of anything else. I think that was pretty much it. Oh, I do want to share one thing. Technically, I guess it's 2 things, or lots of things, but on 2 anyway. As we all do, we collect all these enamel pins, and it's like, okay, you can't put them all in a bag. You can't display them all in the same place. So what I did when we got home, because we were getting these all over at almost every, well, the places that I remembered and were easy to get in and out of the little shops. But I bought so many little enamel pins from all the places and the museums and places that we went. And so I bought these banners on Etsy. They are from Bumbling Bee Banners. I loved this ombre one that has the little stars. Let's see if you can see the stars on the background. And so I'm going to hang these up in my craft room here. Yeah, that's a good. So I can add, I have a couple of other national park and family vacation ones that I will add to this. And this will be a good place to just store all of these things that we get on our trips. Yeah, we have Colonial Williamsburg, Holocaust Museum, Library of Congress, the Jamestown Glass House, the National Zoo, Historic Jamestown, Yorktown Battlefield, the Smithsonian Museums, American History Museum, another Library of Congress, and Museum of the Bible. And those are only the ones, we went to so many more places, but those are the ones that I got. And then I bought a plain banner. This is just plain white. And this one has a lot of the pins that I got recently at the Zombie Knitpocalypse retreat. And so I've decided that this one is going to be my either podcast friends or yarn business friends or yarn LYSs that I get the pins for, I'm going to put on here. So some of them will come off of my fringe bag so that I don't risk losing them, and they will go here. And then some of them, you know, sometimes I'll keep maybe just 1 or 2 on a bag. Like this bag, I found this super cute unicorn magic pin at Park Avenue Yarns, my local store, and that one just sits on that bag. Sometimes I find that the bags get so heavy with all of them on there, and I just would hate to lose any of them that I collect. So eventually maybe you'll see some of these hanging here. That would be really fun. We can all enjoy them together every week. So that's it for now. If y'all have any questions or want to see any thing or any special requests for the shop, please do contact me. The best way to contact me is by email, Diane, D-I-A-N-N-E @suburbanstitcher.com. You can find me as DBB Stitch on Ravelry and Suburban Stitcher on Instagram. The shop is at suburbanstitcher.com, and I ship every day all over the world. So thank you so much for your continued support, and I will see you next time. Bye.